Welcome back to Katie's Homemade Life. Today we're going to be making corn chowder soup, and I'm going to be using items that I have in my pantry. So if there was a hurricane or something like that and we didn't have any power, we could still use our grill because on the side of it, it has a burner. So I'm going to be using 2 cans of corn. I normally would use 2 cans of diced potatoes, but I actually have potatoes I need to use. Some red ones over there in the bowl, but I've used them before and it's worked fine, especially last year when everything happened. I didn't want to go to the store. I had the canned potatoes and they worked fine because I was afraid they would taste kind of different, but it was fine because it's in a soup and you're cooking it and you're putting all kinds of things in, so it's kind of normal. So, and then I'm also using this Velveeta. I found it. It's in individual packages. It's a set of 5 of them, and it's 20 ounces. Yeah, 20 ounces. So normally, because I have one that's already open that I am going to use, but I wanted to show you this, and I'm going to keep it. So if a hurricane does come, and it's good for, well, probably about 5 months from now, 4 or 5 months from now. So these don't have a long shelf life, kind of like mayonnaise doesn't have a long shelf life, but what was I going to say? This is good if something did happen, then I wouldn't be wasting the whole thing. You know, I could just use the couple that I need and use it for, you know, multiple recipes during that time. Because the last time we went without power, it was a week, and it was a long week. So I got, for the recipe, also some black pepper, a little bit of seasoned salt to give it color, and this I've never used before, but it's supposed to be fine. So we'll try that, because I was going to use canned milk, but I think this will give it more of the, because I normally use half and half, so this will give it more of that. And then this Better Than bouillon. You could use also your own homemade stock or the broth, you know, the box, whatever you can. This is just, I find this is cheaper. And in the long run, it's like a few dollars for this. I think around 3 or 4. And I get so much out of this. So, alright. So I'm going to get this started and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've cut up my Velveeta. I used about 1/3 of a normal sized log. I have that much left. So I use probably a little less than that. The normal size log. So I've cut it up, and I use my red potatoes. I used 3 or 4 red potatoes. I can't remember. I think I used 4. If you don't like too much potato, use 3. If you like potatoes, I would use 4. And they're a pretty good size. And then I'm going to, I put in the potatoes, the 2 cans of corn, and then a full hot cup of water all the way to the basic top. So like 2 or 3 cups of water. And I did use the canned water in the corn. If you have problems with salt, then probably don't do that. Unless you get no salt corn, but I don't because they don't last as long on the shelf. So, okay. So I'm just going to take like a tablespoon of that, and then it's going to change the color a little bit. I may not need the seasoned salt because I normally use a different one. It doesn't really have color, so I may not need to add that, just maybe to taste. This has enough salt in it. So, I may not need the seasoned salt today. So, let's see. I wanted to show you. So, definitely wait till the end to add the cream or, you know, curdle or something. And I'm going to wait till the potatoes are done. So, about 10-15 minutes till those are done. And I cut them kind of not too thick, not too thin, kind of. And you see how the color's already changed from the broth that I added in there. Okay. And let's see, there's something else I was gonna. Okay. Yep, but definitely wait on the cheese because the same thing's gonna happen. I know Velveeta is not the best, but in an emergency situation, this is definitely gonna be filling, hearty, meal, and it goes a long way. Definitely could feed, you know, a family, a big family. I'm using a small pot. I should use my big pot so I would have leftovers, but I'm just using this one today. It's fine. And also the Velveeta, it thickens the soup, and this is how I was taught by my grandma to make basically the soup. I actually took the broccoli cheese soup, just minus obviously the corn and the potatoes, and you have broccoli cheese soup. Just add the broccoli instead of those two things, and that can make that too. So I'll show you when it's almost ready. Okay, I just added in the Velveeta, and you can see that the color is starting to change. This is really when you want to start watching it. So my potatoes are all the way cooked. I've cooked them for medium heat for about 15 minutes. It was on like 6, but I turned it down to 5 because I don't want this Velveeta to burn on the bottom. I've learned the hard way. So you definitely want to keep it kind of stirring it and watching it. And then once it's fully melted, I don't think they're fully melted. Well, maybe they are. They didn't. They're probably trying to float on the bottom now. I gotta find them. I'll find them, and then at the very end, the last like 5 minutes, I'll add the whole can of table cream. You don't have to add that. You could try it to taste, but it gives it kind of just a more heartier taste. Makes it taste better. It's up to you. You don't have to do that part, but I always do. Okay, so now I'm gonna add, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm gonna start adding in the table cream I showed you earlier, and I turn it down to 4 now, so I do not want this to scald. So, this is probably the perfect amount. I don't know how many, it says it has 15 servings of 1 tablespoon. Whatever that is. I'm not good at math, so don't ask me how many. Do not ask me how many. So this is really good. Now I do put a little more cheese, shredded cheese, not the Velveeta, just some shredded cheese that I shred myself. Sometimes I've either already shredded. Oh, I'm going to hurt myself over here. Okay. Oh. All right. Well, don't make a mess like me. But I keep stirring because like I said, I just don't want it to curdle anything. I've been making this soup for 10 years and it only curdled on me once. I was a new cook. But I didn't keep the temperature, medium. I had everything on high and, I just didn't know what I was doing. So you learn, you learn. Just like baking, I used to be a bad baker for many years. And finally, the last couple years, I finally found my rhythm. So, the soup is all done. I'm just going to let it cook for a few more minutes. And I'm making bread. I'm not going to show you that today because I haven't made this recipe before. If it turns out bad, I don't want you to blame me. So, it looks easy, so that's why I'm trying it. And I do know how to make bread. I have my own recipe that I use, but this one seemed easier than the one I already have. So that's what it looks like, and I'll show you how it's all dished up and ready to go. Okay, so I've plated it up. I put in a little bit of pepper and then this cheese, this shredded cheese that I have that I get from Sam's. And this is a really big bowl, so it looks like there's not a lot in there. Just like a huge bowl, huge. And I put a little bit of salt and pepper in this after I showed you because it needed it. But that is really it. It was really easy. Probably took about a half hour to make. You do want this to sit after you've added the cheese and the cream and everything. You want it to sit for about 20 minutes, on low simmer so it really can develop its flavors and everything so it will taste better. And of course adding the salt and pepper. I mean, the salt if you don't, can't have a lot of salt, but definitely the pepper or whatever seasonings you like to really make it taste good. So I will show you tomorrow night's video for my next hurricane-like meal. Of course, you could do without this. You didn't need that. It's just a little extra, but I'll show you. Okay, so here is the next night for dinner, and this is what I would make in an emergency situation, whether I couldn't get to the store or there was a hurricane and we didn't have any power, and I could still have access to propane and use my grill and all of that. So I'm going to show you how I would make it and then what I'm actually going to do tonight. So this is the best pasta sauce, and of course if you don't like sausage or you don't eat sausage, you could use you could easily make this vegetarian and you know, use a vegetable pasta sauce or whatever. But tonight I'm using this Italian sausage, and it is so good. You have to try it. And this tortellini that I got from Aldi, which of course you can find anywhere, and this Classico I found at Walmart. And mixed vegetables, and then we're gonna use this shaky Parmesan, because of course, emergency situation, you would want to be. This is shelf stable until you open it, so you'd have to figure out how to wait to refrigerate it after. But at least you would have it for now. I've even seen them. Some places you can find it in like smaller containers, so maybe you wouldn't be wasting as much. But this is what I would make it in an emergency situation. But we're going away probably this weekend to the beach, so I have vegetables in my fridge I want to use. So I'm not going to use the can of mixed vegetables today. I'm going to use zucchini and carrots that I have in my fridge. And then I made homemade bread yesterday with that potato recipe, so I didn't let it rise enough. I got too impatient, so it obviously, it still tastes good. You know, it's cooked all the way and it tastes good. It's just, the family didn't complain about it. It was just shorter. I know what I did wrong. I didn't let it rise enough. I don't think my yeast was hot enough, but it still rose. It just needed longer, and I got impatient. So I'm going to start, I'm going to cut up the vegetables, put them in, and let them saute before I add the sauce. This is kind of like a soup. I'm not going to say it's a soup, because if I tell my family it's a soup, they're not going to eat it. I'm just saying we're having cheese tortellini with sauce, vegetables, and they will eat it. If I call this a soup, then I will start get grumbling. I could eat soup every day. They're not big fans of it. Okay, so let me cut it up and everything, and I'll show you. Okay, so I've cut up the carrots. I cut up 2 carrots and the 3 zucchini. I cut them kind of big because I don't want them to get all mushy in there. I should have put the carrots in first and I forgot. So, and then I have a leftover bag. I made homemade biscuits the other day, and I pulled out some of the sausage before I made the gravy, and then I figured I could add that into this. Since it is Italian sausage, it will go in nicely. You don't have to do this. I wouldn't normally do this. It's just I have it and I want to use it. Instead of putting it in the freezer, I'll just use it now, because I'm trying to clean out my fridge. And once these are cooked, like almost all the way, so I probably want to cook on medium heat for about 10 minutes. And once they're almost done, all cooked all the way, or are cooked all the way, then I'm going to add the sauce and probably a half a cup to a cup of water. I'll let you know what I put in. And of course I'll add the meat, and it's already cooked, of course. I just need to heat it up. And I'm not going to add the vegetables because I already have plenty in there. And then I will add the tortellini. I don't know how long it takes to cook. 8 minutes it says. Okay, so it's pretty quick. It's just these take the longest. It would be a lot quicker if I wasn't using these, but I want to use them up. Alright, so I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so it's just about done cooking. Getting cooked all the way through, and I just added the ground sausage. I did put a little avocado oil in there before I put the vegetables in to get them nice and translucent and cook well. So I'm gonna add the tortellini in, and this is it was an 8.8 ounce package of the tortellini. You could always double it if you have a bigger family. I have a family of 4, and I'll probably have a little bit of leftovers. I didn't want to make a big pot of it because, like I said, we're going away, and I just try not to have too much leftovers. So, and then I'm just pouring it in the jar. And these are really nice jars. I'm going to save them for my iced coffee. Obviously, I'm going to wash it, put it in the dishwasher. But then, especially with, I guess you can't find canning things too well right now. But instead of me buying some kind of thing for my leftover coffee, because I'm the only one that drinks it, and I have 2 cups a day, so I'll make a pot of coffee and then just clean up the jar really good. And then I'll have, I'll put iced coffee in it, and then just the coffee. Let it cool. Don't put the lid on until it's all the way cool, and then put it in the fridge, and then I have iced coffee for days. It's really nice. So let me put a little more. I'm probably going to fill this whole jar up with hot water and then put it in there and see how it's looking. So that was the perfect amount of water. This can is 24 ounces. So that was the perfect amount to put in there. So just so you know, if you do make this. So I'm going to turn up the heat probably to like 7 or 8. Get it boiling. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all done. Okay, so while that's boiling, it's still coming up to a boil. I wanted to show you another idea. I'm not going to make it today because I just don't have time. But this would be a great option too if you couldn't get to the store, or maybe there was a power outage and you could still use your stove. Obviously not if you have propane or a fire stove. But like I said, we have the grill, so we can use the burner on the grill. So I have rotini here. And I actually forgot that I just bought some, what is it? I can't think of the brand. Bertolli, I think it is. They make pasta already in a bag. Let me see. I can grab it. My pantry's a mess. I can't find it right now, but I'll show you later on. It's already cooked pasta. You just have to put it in the microwave for like 90 seconds and it's already heated. So that would be a great source if you were limited on propane or you didn't really have access to it. You didn't want to burn up a lot of it. You could just use that instead of having to wait for the pasta to be done. Let me find it because it's driving me crazy. Hold on. Okay, I couldn't find it, but I found this. You could use this in replace of the pasta. It's basically already cooked rice, just 90 seconds. So you just really just need to heat it up. You don't have to, you know, wait 20 minutes for it to cook or whatever it would normally cook. And I have chunk chicken and water. And I bought this last year when everything happened. So it has 2.5, 3 year shelf life, plus, you know, supposedly you can go further. If you want to check that out, research it. And then the peas, and then this 4 cheese pasta, alfredo sauce. So I've noticed that the 4 cheese alfredo sauces are good. They have different kinds and with different cheeses, but this is the one that my family likes the best. So that is a really quick meal too. And also, Aldi doesn't always sell these. They're there's a name brand one of these you can get year-round at Walmart or Target. This one's the Aldi brand, and it's a quick soup, and it already has everything in it, and you just need water to it. And I add my own I add frozen broccoli to it just to kind of beef it up and make it more nutritious. So that's another great option too. So these are just options to think about. I always have this kind of stuff in the house, so if something does happen, I have it. If we couldn't get to the store, power went out, we have extra things. And then I tried this. I bought this at Walmart a couple weeks ago, and it's coffee, instant coffee, and it actually was really good, but it's not strong. So I need to see if they make a dark roast one, because they have this at Sam's Club in bulk, and I wanted to buy it, but I wanted to try a small container at first before I wasted money on a big one. And it's actually very good, but it's not strong enough for me. It made me like not awake at all in the morning. But it does taste very good. So, and then another thing is I want to show you the She's in Her Apron planner that just came out. It's so awesome. I really, really love it. And I wanted to show you, where is it? Right here. She has this for shop your shelves, meal planning, and meal ideas. This is the first time in months that I've actually been able to stay on track and keep better look ahead and making sure that I'm being a good steward and using up all my things from on my shelves and in my pantries. So this is a really, really awesome thing if you want to check it out. She's in her apron. She's on YouTube. So, and it's through the Leafy Treetops is the brand, and such high quality, good stuff. I don't want to show you my personal stuff. So, but this is what it looks like. It's also a planner, and it has the weeks, the days, if you do Fly Lady or something like that, zones, all kinds of stuff. My phone isn't showing very good. There it goes. Is that better? But it's really awesome. And then the expenses, you could track stuff what you spend during the week, but I use this for my bills. We get paid every 2 weeks, and then I just do that on here, and it's really good. And then I check mark when it's scheduled, when I scheduled it online or bill pay or mailed it, and then I do this second check mark for when it went out of the account. I know that it's paid, and that's a good quick glance thing. And then it even has the menu planning on here. So this is an awesome book. I think it's worth every penny. So make sure you check that out if you're interested. And it comes in different colors too. It's really good quality. But I don't get promoted. I'm not getting paid to say this. I actually really, really like this book. I paid for it myself, and I think it's a really great resource that I have found for shopping your shelves, shelf cooking, all of that. So this is almost done, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's done. It's plumped up a little. I could add a little more water to it. I probably will. Probably like a 1/3 cup. And this is what it looks like. This bowl is huge. I don't know if you can see how big the bowl is compared to the bread, but it's a really big bowl. And this is, I just added some of the Parmesan. And only thing I added to the soup was pepper and just a little bit of salt. So my family likes to salt things, so I didn't want to add too much salt because I know they're going to salt their own food. So this is what it looks like. It smells wonderful and it tastes delicious. And then of course my homemade bread, you don't have to do that. It's just, it was nice. I made it. It was so easy. I haven't perfected the recipe, so I don't want to share it yet. But it was very easy to make. So that's one thing I do encourage you guys. Definitely maybe try making homemade bread, stuff like that. You know, because it is exciting to me to learn to make new things, especially if I can't get to the store and get it, or maybe they're out of it, stuff like that. I've made a mess. So I need to go get my baby, my toddler, who's making a mess. Oh my. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. Hope you got some great ideas, whether it's for a emergency situation, whether a hurricane, or you couldn't get to the store, or the power went out, something like that. You can get some really good ideas, and you're still feeding your family pretty nutritious. I did want to say the chowder I made yesterday, it did I didn't need that whole can of table cream. I probably could have used half of that and used the other half for milk, or not for milk, for coffee or something like that. But it was my first time using it, because usually I just do a splash or two of half and half when I make that normally. Emergency situation, I would use that, and it tasted great and everyone loved it. So, all right, so thanks for watching Katie's Homemade Life. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. My next video is probably gonna be like a beach vlog, grocery haul too. We're going to probably be going to the beaches. We are going to the beach this weekend. So I'll be showing you that coming up this weekend. So I'll see you next time. Thanks guys. Bye.